9 hours on a plane from London Heathrow. I land, and I find out the Browns traded Joe Flacco. I'm a little surprised. I'm sure Joe probably went to them and said, "Hey, look, man, I don't feel like sitting the bench. It's probably gonna be his last year anyway." Can't believe the Browns and Bengals made a trade. That might be a first, 6th-round pick, whatever. But I hope this opens the door for Shedeur, baby. Dillon's gonna start, I'm sure, this week. But maybe Shedeur now will get some backup reps. They'll try to get him up to speed. I know they want to get a look at him. I want to get a look at him.
So the Browns finally did it. 9 hours across the Atlantic, Tony Rizzo lands at Heathrow and opens his phone, and boom. Joe Flacco. Gone. Traded to the Cincinnati Bengals for a 5th-round pick. Let that sink in. Joe Flacco, the same veteran who steadied the Browns last season, who became a quiet locker room general, is now heading to a division rival. That's not just a trade, that's a statement. And in Cleveland, statements carry weight. And right now, that statement says one thing. It's Shedeur Sanders' time. You could hear it in Tony Rizzo's voice. Exhausted from the flight, confused by the timing, but somewhere in that mix, there's excitement. Because beneath the shock, Rizzo said what every Browns fan has been whispering since training camp. I hope this opens the door for Shedeur, baby. That line, that one sentence, it hit different. Because Cleveland just took a gut punch in Minnesota. A 17-21 loss that wasn't just a defeat, it was a warning sign. Dillon Gabriel, the college gunslinger turned rookie starter, had his moment, and it fizzled. 3 turnovers, 2 missed reads, and a frustrated locker room afterward that knew what everyone else did. This isn't working. And now, after that brutal loss, the front office pulled the trigger. Joe Flacco to Cincinnati. A small trade with massive implications. Sometimes one man's trade is another man's opportunity, and this might be the start of the Shedeur Sanders story in Cleveland. Rizzo wasn't just reporting the news, he was living it. Landing from London, jet-lagged and still finding out in real time, he couldn't believe it. I can't believe the Browns and Bengals made a trade, he said. That might be a first. And he's right, this doesn't happen often. Cleveland and Cincinnati, 2 bitter AFC North rivals, trading quarterbacks? That's unheard of. But this is the new NFL, unpredictable, ruthless, and fast-moving. And while everyone's debating what the Browns got in return, one thing is certain, the future isn't about Flacco anymore. It's about the kid from Colorado. The kid with swagger, composure, and a chip on his shoulder the size of the dog pound. It's about Shedeur Sanders. Now let's break this down, because this move didn't just happen. Flacco's trade wasn't random. According to Rizzo, Joe likely went to the front office himself. Hey, I'm not sitting the bench, he probably told them. And can you blame him? The man's 40, maybe playing his last season, and he still wants to compete. So the Browns gave him a chance, but in doing so, they gave Shedeur a bigger one. Because now, the QB depth chart in Cleveland is wide open. Dillon Gabriel may get another start out of necessity, but the writing's on the wall. Bailey Zapp? Uncertain future. Shedeur Sanders? He's the wild card every fan's been begging to see. Sometimes you don't wait for the door to open, you kick it down. And right now, Shedeur's standing at that door with both feet ready. Rizzo said it clearly, they'll try to get him up to speed. They want to get a look at him. I want to get a look at him. That's not wishful thinking, that's expectation. Because after that Vikings loss, patience in Cleveland is wearing thin. The defense has done its job, Myles Garrett continues to dominate, and Amari Cooper's been playing his heart out. But you can only carry a team so far when the offense stalls. So here's the question for everyone watching right now. Do you think the Browns made the right move trading Flacco, or was this too soon? Was it the right call to clear the path for Shedeur Sanders? Or should they have let the veteran stay and mentor a little longer? Drop your thoughts in the comments, because this decision might define the rest of the Browns season.
But I hope this opens the door for Shedeur. Dillon's going to start, I'm sure, this week. But, maybe Shedeur now will get some backup reps. They'll try to get him up to speed. I know they want to get a look at him. I want to get a look at him. I think everybody wants to get a look at him. But I think it's a great move for Sanders, and it opens up the door for him. I don't know what the future is of Bailey Zappi. Maybe he's the backup. I don't know. But This clearly is a move that spells that the Browns want to get a look at Shedeur Sanders this season, as do I. Okay, now I got to get something to eat. I'm on a plane 9 hours. Go, Browns.
And that's the headline, folks. Tony Rizzo doesn't speak without conviction. When he says, this clearly spells that the Browns want to get a look at Shedeur Sanders this season, he's not guessing, he's hinting. He's heard the chatter, the meetings behind closed doors, the coaching staff trying to figure out when, not if, Shedeur takes the field. And think about the timing. You don't trade your veteran backup after a loss like that unless you're planning something bold. You don't take that kind of risk unless you believe your rookie is ready to be tested. Sometimes the future doesn't wait its turn, it demands to be seen. And right now, Cleveland fans are demanding to see Shedeur. He's not just another prospect. He's the son of Coach Prime. He's been built for pressure since day one. From Jackson State to Colorado, he's faced doubters, haters, and spotlight chasers, and every single time, he's answered with poise. Now it's Cleveland's turn. And honestly, you can feel the energy shifting. The fans are restless. The media's circling. And even the veterans in that locker room know something's coming. So let's ask another one. Is Cleveland finally ready to hand the keys to Shedeur Sanders? Or will the coaches play it safe and give Dillon Gabriel another shot after that Vikings meltdown? Because this, right here, this is that moment every franchise faces. The crossroad between safety and spark. Between staying in the middle or reaching for greatness. You can't build a dynasty without a defining risk, and maybe this trade was that risk. When Tony Rizzo wrapped up his short video from the airport, you could tell he wasn't just talking like a host, he was talking like a fan who's been through it all. He's seen the heartbreak. He's watched this franchise chase quarterback after quarterback. And now, after this trade, for the first time in years, he said something that actually sounded like hope. He said, it's a great move for Sanders and opens up the door for him. And that single line, that's the story. The door is open. Because look around, the Browns just lost 17-21 to the Minnesota Vikings, a game they should have won. The defense did its job. The offense? Not so much. Dillon Gabriel's first start as QB1 ended in frustration. Overthrows. Missed checkdowns. 2 interceptions that killed drives. And when the dust settled, Cleveland fans weren't talking about the loss. They were talking about the kid on the sideline wearing number 14. Shedeur Sanders. The calm before the storm. Sometimes, silence is louder than any cheer, and Shedeur's silence on that sideline said everything. Because even without taking a snap, everyone could feel it. The cameras caught him standing next to Kevin Stefanski, headset on, eyes locked on the field. He wasn't sulking. He wasn't nervous. He looked ready. And when news broke that Joe Flacco was heading to the Bengals, Cleveland fans finally connected the dots. This wasn't just about a 5th-round pick. This was about clearing the stage. Because think about it, what does this team have to lose? They're sitting in the middle of the AFC North, staring up at Baltimore and Pittsburgh. The offense has stalled, and fans are restless. So why not see what you've got in Shedeur Sanders? Why not hand him the ball and say, go prove them wrong? Because if there's one thing Shedeur has built his name on, it's proving people wrong. From Boulder to Cleveland, the stage changes, but the mission never does: earn respect. Rizzo made it clear, this isn't a coincidence. He said, they want to get a look at him. I want to get a look at him. Everybody wants to get a look at him. And that's not media fluff. That's the Cleveland community speaking through him. They've seen enough recycled storylines. Enough bridge quarterbacks. Enough wasted seasons waiting for a spark. So here's the reality. If Dillon Gabriel struggles again next week, it's not a matter of if Shedeur plays, it's when. Because right now, the organization's patience is measured in quarters, not games. And that brings us to the wild card in this story, Bailey Zappe. Rizzo mentioned him too, asking, I don't know what the future is of Bailey Zappe. Maybe he's the backup. I don't know. That line says everything. Even the insiders don't know what's next. Zappe's been solid in camp, but never spectacular. He's a stopgap, not a future. The Browns didn't draft Shedeur Sanders to watch. They drafted him to change everything. So Cleveland's quarterback room is now 3 men deep: Gabriel, Zapp, and Sanders, but only one has the it factor the city's been missing. Every franchise has that one decision that rewrites its story, and this trade just set that decision in motion. Let's not forget, this isn't just about football. This is about the Browns' identity. A team known for grit, for heartbreak, for fighting uphill every single season. And now, with Shedeur Sanders waiting in the wings, there's a new energy in the air. An energy that feels like belief. So let's ask this. Is Cleveland finally ready to believe again? Because belief has been missing in this city for a long time. And maybe, just maybe, it's coming back in the form of a 22-year-old kid with confidence, composure, and a last name that echoes greatness. Now let's talk about that Bengals trade again. Because if you think this move doesn't add fuel to the rivalry, you're wrong. Joe Flacco, the same man who once tortured Cleveland as a Raven, is now wearing Bengals stripes. Can you imagine the headlines if he comes back to face the Browns? If Shedeur Sanders is starting that game, rookie versus veteran, student versus survivor, that's primetime drama waiting to happen. In the NFL, revenge isn't personal, it's scheduled. And trust me, Cleveland fans will be circling that game in red ink. But this isn't about Flacco's farewell. It's about Shedeur's arrival. Because Rizzo's reaction wasn't just news, it was prophecy. He said, "This clearly spells that the Browns want to get a look at Shedeur Sanders this season." Clearly, that's not coded language. That's confirmation. The question now is timing. When does Stefanski pull the trigger? When does he hand the keys to the offense to the kid from Colorado who's been waiting for this very moment? Because once he does, there's no going back. You don't put the genie back in the bottle once Shedeur takes the field, you let it run wild. And if you're watching this right now, ask yourself, do you think Shedeur's ready for that smoke? Because Cleveland isn't easy. The pressure, the scrutiny, the media, it's heavy. But for Shedeur, this isn't new. He's been living under that pressure since he first threw a football. Every throw's been judged. Every move analyzed. He's not scared of the moment. He is the moment. And when Rizzo says, "I want to get a look at him," that's not just curiosity, that's excitement. Because deep down, even the most jaded Browns fans want to believe that this time, it'll be different. That this time, the kid they drafted could actually be the one who saves them from mediocrity. Hope's a dangerous thing in Cleveland, but it's also the only thing that keeps them coming back. And you can feel that hope bubbling now. The trade, the timing, the tension, it's all lining up. Flacco's gone. Gabriel's struggling. The locker room needs a spark. And Shedeur Sanders is right there, waiting, patient but poised. He's got the arm, the accuracy, the poise. But more than that, he's got the fire. Because every time people doubt him, he turns it into fuel. And this time, Cleveland's counting on that fire to ignite the entire franchise. So when Tony Rizzo said he just got off a 9-hour flight and still had to get something to eat, that wasn't just a throwaway line, that was real life. The man was exhausted, but even through that fatigue, he couldn't hide his intrigue. Because he knows. Something's coming. When even the veterans start talking about the rookie, that's how you know change is in the air. So buckle up, Browns fans. This is bigger than a mid-season trade. This is the start of a shift. From London to Lake Erie, the whispers are growing louder. Shedeur Sanders is next. And if he delivers even half of what people expect, this could be the story that rewrites Cleveland's legacy for good. Because sometimes, it's not the big trades or blockbuster signings that change a franchise. Sometimes it's the moment a kid finally gets his shot and refuses to give it back. In a city that's been waiting for a savior, maybe that savior's already wearing number 14. So what do you think, Browns Nation? Is Shedeur ready to take over? Is this the beginning of something special, or just another chapter in Cleveland's endless quarterback carousel? Drop your thoughts in the comments. We read every single one. And if you're rooting for Shedeur Sanders, if you believe this trade was more than just business, then hit that like button, share this video, and make sure you're subscribed to Gridiron Insights. Because this story is just getting started. This is Gridiron Insights, where the headlines meet the heart of the game. Like, comment, and subscribe for more dramatic NFL stories, controversies, and every twist that defines the league we love. Until next time, keep your eyes on Cleveland, because the next time Shedeur Sanders takes that field, history might just be waiting.